This guy's shaking like a Polaroid, right?
Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, we're live. A little outcast.
Hey, you know.
It is Hangout Week.
It is.
It is.
He's going.
Yeah. But it is episode 38 of the Matt and Ryan Show. I'm Matt, and of course he is the legend, Ryan Langer.
The legend. Ryan Larry.
Ryan
In the flesh.
In the flesh. This week we're going to review some NFL draft. You get some more football this week. You're welcome. And then, of course, LSU baseball is coming down the home stretch, and they're interesting, I guess, is a broad word to put it, but an accurate word to put how their season is going right now. And then, of course, we got a couple of fan mail questions again this week. A couple of pretty good ones, too.
All right.
I don't know if it's quite the level last week. Last week was legendary, but
awesome.
so these are pretty good this week, too. But all right, I guess we'll start off with the draft. That's kind of what's on everybody's mind right now. And the Saints started off trading up in the first round. But I would say the majority of the Saints fans were pretty pleased with that pick. If you're going to go up and get somebody, you get somebody you think that can make an impact, and that's what Brandon Cooks looks like he can do. He's a fast receiver. He's got good hands. He just looks like he can make plays, right?
This guy was the Biletnikoff winner from last season. For those of you who don't know what the Biletnikoff Award is, it is the number one wide receiver in the NCAA for the season. If you remember back a couple years ago, Michael Crabtree from Texas Tech was the Biletnikoff winner.
Josh Reed won it back in 03 for LSU. How did Clayton not win? That's
I'm not sure, but this guy's one hell of a grab. We traded with Arizona to move up 7 spots and gave them our third round to take him at the 20th pick.
It's livable. I was afraid they were going to give him a second round pick again, but I can live with a third round.
I really like what Loomis and Peyton have been doing over the past few years. I think they're making some really good decisions in the draft. And they've been known to find guys hanging out in the backyard barn, and we'll move down the line as we get to who I think was hanging out in the backyard barn. But I think Brandon Cooks is going to make an instant impact. You're going to hear a lot of Breeze to Cooks. He's going to fill in much in the same sense of a Lance Moore, Darren Sproles combination receiver because he's got the speed of Sproles. He ran a 4.33 40, which was the fastest wide receiver 40-yard dash at the combine, and the second fastest 40-yard dash of anybody, only to Dree Hunter, I think is his last name, of Kent State, who ran a 4.26.
Right.
He's a running back, and I think he got taken in the 4th or 5th round.
Right.
But
that's only because he went to Kent State.
That's only because he went to Kent State. Yeah. But this guy's got explosive speed. He's 5'10", I want to say like about 5'10 3/4. So you're going to see a lot of this guy in the slot. And the speed that this guy's got, he's going to get separation off the line even if he gets jammed up because this guy's first 5 steps are lightning fast.
One thing I was wondering, I still haven't found out the answer to that. I wonder if he can return kicks and punts.
I don't know if he played special teams at Oregon State, but
because I'm saying if he's got the hands to do it, I mean we're talking about a severe weapon.
Oh yeah.
I mean we thought Michael Lewis was good, or I'm trying to remember the guy the Chiefs had a few years back. Dante Hall.
Dante Hall, yeah.
I mean you could potentially have a Dante Hall explosiveness on special teams, but at the same time, a guy that can do a lot more impactful than Dante Hall did a wide receiver. Even at 5'10", like you said, Ryan, speed kills.
Absolutely. This guy has Devin Hester speed.
Yeah.
He has Devin Hester speed, and he might even be faster than Devin Hester. Devin Hester's got the eyes to be able to make the right moves, but at the same time, he's got the speed to go with it. And Brandon Cooks can learn quickly if they do put him in special teams. If they, we're throwing hypotheticals out there.
Yeah.
If he does play that punt return, second kick returner position, on special teams from time to time, this guy could really blow the lid off of special teams play and easily put 6 on the board for the Saints this year.
And one thing that'll make him even more dangerous is the majority of his games is going to be on that AstroPlay surface, either in the Dome or I think we played at the Rams again this year, maybe.
Yep.
I want to say maybe that's on that same surface. The Falcons play on that surface.
Yep.
You got it. I mean, that's just 10 off the top of my head I can think of right now. You're playing on a super fast surface. And then, of course, moving on to the second round, another pick.
Jean Baptiste.
Jean Baptiste. Speaking of Cajun.
Right, perfect for New Orleans. Perfect to come to New Orleans.
One guy I saw comparing this pick, he said he's almost like a poor man's Richard Sherman with his physical skills.
You beat me to it. On paper, he outmatches Richard Sherman. On paper, by measurables and statistics, he's about the same height. He's a little bit faster. He weighs, I want to say, about 20, 25 pounds more than Richard Sherman. And this guy was a shutdown corner at Nebraska.
Yeah, he was one of the few bright spots in their defense this year. I mean, he can only do so much.
Right. Much like Kenny Vaccaro last football season
at Texas.
At UT.
And that
exactly.
Was a terrible defense.
And he was their defense. And Jean-Baptiste is much the same, the instant leader. He's going to come in and probably start on the opposite end from Keenan Lewis. So, we got our answer.
And even if he doesn't, your third and fourth cornerbacks, not necessarily in order on the depth chart. I mean, he'll be up there with Lewis. Then you have Champ Bailey and Patrick Robinson and Nicholas Dime is still good.
Still dangerous.
Absolutely. Especially if he can come back from the Navy. So the Saints will actually have some depth. If I get my Corey White, how do we get my Corey White?
And Corey White.
Saints have 5 legitimate cornerbacks this year that can play, assuming Baptiste is a real deal, which, I mean, he'll have a learning curve, of course, but on tape, he looks like he's got the intangibles.
Yeah, he's got the intangibles. I mean, you got a 6'3" cornerback.
Right.
Most wide receivers aren't 6'3" in the NFL.
And that'll be good, especially to battle guys like Tampa just got Mike Evans. And then, of course, you got Julio Jones over there and
Roddy White.
I mean, that's tall receivers.
Right.
And it makes you wonder also if they would consider putting them in the nickel to cover some of these big tight ends as well. If anything, just to help with safety help.
Those hybrid tight ends. I mean,
right.
You got
your Jimmy Graham's type of players.
Yep. He's going to be faster than the likes of Jason Witten and these bigger tight ends, Gronk. But when you get these hybrid tight ends that are coming into the game now, like Jimmy Graham and others, that can split out as a wide receiver and beat you with speed, and they're still 6'6".
Right.
He will be able to, best as possible, match up with these guys.
Yeah, the only thing people are worried about is his tackling ability, but you can teach that.
Yeah, that's not something that can't be taught. Absolutely.
Exactly. Moving on to the fourth round, this is where the Saints started to reach. You got a guy, Kyrie Ford from Cal, who he's coming off an injury, but when he was healthy, he was making some plays.
Absolutely.
And then you can look at it from both sides, where like we mentioned, reach. This guy could potentially be a steal, or is this another Stanley Arno, where Saints fans or C. Grant type of linebacker, where the Saints are drafted in the middle rounds, had all the physical abilities, but then get hurt the first week of training camp and never hurt them again.
This is one guy who, as a freshman, was part of the Joe Paterno team that was involved in the Sandusky. What's the word I'm looking for? Scandal, I guess. Scandal was involved with that. So he was allowed to transferred to Cal and was immediately eligible to play. And then that would have been the 2012 season at Cal, and made a really big impact there, and got hurt last year about halfway through with a torn ACL and didn't play the rest of the year. But when he did play, Matt, his statistics were there. He was an outstanding linebacker. I really think this guy, should he stay healthy, could really make an impact on Rob Ryan's insanity defense. I'm not going to go with psycho because that's over there in Green Bay, so I'm just going to go with insanity.
I like it. You don't want to infringe on anybody else's thing.
Nope.
Moving on, this is the guy you were really excited
I'm stoked about this one.
Vinny Sunseri, the safety from Alabama. Ryan, I'll let you start from this. You love this guy.
I watched Sunseri in the 2012 season when LSU and Alabama had the 9-6 ball game, the game of the century. I watched him in the national championship against us. I watched him in the national championship against Notre Dame as well. But this guy is a ball hawk. He's got all the things that you can't teach. He's got the instincts to play in open space. He's a very hard-hitting safety who also made a lot of impact on Alabama's special teams. He just always seems to find his way around the ball. He had 105 tackles in, I want to say, 2 seasons. This guy can flat-out play, and it's natural things. It's not things, like I said, it's not things that can be taught. It's just the fact that he's on the field and he knows what he's doing, and he's a natural. He's what I've been calling all week. I said, this guy's a baller. He may see a lot of special teams play at first, and then in some dime and nickel packages, you may see this guy kind of rotate in and out in the defensive secondary. But this is my favorite pick of the draft. Above Brandon Cooks because of the value at which we could get out of Sunseri for grabbing him in the 5th round. Again, should he stay healthy?
Yeah, this is I've kind of been wondering how I feel about this pick. I throw away all the college's biases and all this stuff when it comes to picks. I see a guy, he's got good speed when healthy. He runs a 4.4, which is good. That's what I did like about him. I thought he was a little undersized. Like you mentioned, I thought he can make some plays on special teams. And at least, and personally, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm always wrong about any guy I think that may not quite cut it, especially when it comes to the Saints. I think he may just be a special team at first, maybe a situational guy, but hey, you never know. You never know. I just remember watching some footage from the 2012 game with LSU when they played it in Death Valley, that just back and forth battle. And I just remember seeing him getting dragged by Jarvis Landry back in the entire game. Now, these are first and second round wide receivers, but you're going to see first and second wide receivers every single week in the NFL. So that has me concerned. But, hey, you never know. I can improve. Of course, most Saints fans thinking Alabama safety, they're thinking right off the bat, Roman Harper. And I think that's part of the reason why some Saints fans right away jumping and going, oh, screw this guy sucks.
Right.
But, of course, you want to give everybody a chance, and you know what? Hey, Saints draft pick to do bad. You want everyone to do as good as possible. Hell, Ryan, I don't like Mark Ingram much, but you want him to do well in the game
on Sunday.
Yeah. Besides all the roll tide crap that he says on Twitter.
Right. And we're gonna get the same thing from Sunseri.
Right.
But that would be my one concern, Matt, is the fact that this guy, I want to say he stands at about 5'8", 5'9". He's a smaller guy, so he may have that impact more in the NFL and the special teams, but he has flat out speed.
But hey, special teams is a part of the game.
Exactly. It's just as important as offensive defense, sometimes more important.
Oh yeah. Field position can really be key for sure. And then speaking of reaches, also
here's our backyard barn guy.
Two picks later, Ronald Powell, a guy from Florida, had all the talent in the world. He just could not stay healthy. And I was talking to two of my good friends, Jameson Taylor and Kate Ordo, who played Little League with Ryan. You know Kate too. They're huge Florida fans, and I straight up asked them after, just like, what do you know about this guy? They're saying they were surprised he went ahead of guys like Purifoy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Standout guys from Florida. They said, when he was actually healthy, yeah, he was good, but he can't stay healthy to save his life. So they figured, well, 5th round pick, it's the Sproles pick. They figured it's kind of a low risk, potentially decent reward on it. So they didn't really have a problem, and they were saying, if he stayed healthy, maybe it could be a good pick. You never know.
This guy was the #1 rated player in high school football out of California. I want to say it was 2011.
Yeah.
He was the #1 player in the nation, went to Florida, played about half a season, and got hurt. Same thing happened in 13 as well.
Yep.
So this guy's teetering on the brink of being a stellar defensive player for the Saints, or getting hurt in training camp and never seeing the actual field.
It'd be a low risk for the Saints because 5th round.
5th round pick. We don't lose much by taking him in the 5th round, but
But you got to take chances.
You got to. That's all. That's what the draft's about. And then should this guy stay healthy, this could really be a future building linebacker to have for the Saints as we continue with the
reload. He definitely looks at 3-4 defensive end linebacker, like a hybrid, like a Junior Gillette and a John Blank on the other name right now, Cam Jordan.
Yes.
And then finally, the Saints went with.
Excuse me. This was our barnyard pick.
This is This has classic Peyton Loomis. WTF pick all over it. Tavon Rooks, a guy that went to Kansas State, was on that Fiesta Bowl team they had against Oregon a couple years ago. He's a guy didn't even have a profile on NFL.com when we picked it, because I was trying to find information about ESPN. Didn't even acknowledge him, but ESPN's getting ESPN. But he's a guy that after reading him and watching a little bit of video, he's decent at pass blocking and run blocking, and this could be a guy that's either just a straight camp body, practice squad material, or is this another sleeper guy like Teron Armstead?
This guy came out of Navarro Junior College into K-State, and as we know, K-State ran the spread option.
Right.
Which
you got to be good at pass blocking for that.
Absolutely. But even more so, he can get out and block in open space for Klein, because Klein was a running quarterback. So we can get a guy to get out and block at the second line of the defense and flatten a couple linebackers to really solidify our run game down the road. This could be, like you just said, one of those sleeper picks like Teron Armstead, or
was it Javi Evans guy? He went to Bloomsburg.
Right. We just hope that he doesn't go the other way. We knew we needed offensive line help, and Loomis and Peyton have always done well to find those diamonds in the rough in the late rounds, lest we forget Marcus Colston.
Right, Zach Strief was
Zach Strief,
he's a serviceable
they do their homework on these late round picks,
Right.
and they get the best bang for their buck. And we can only hope for the best of this guy. He's going to come into camp, competing for the right tackle position, and with Armstead on the left, this could be the missing link that we need on that line to both protect Drew as well as establish a power running game. Because as we remember, when we won the Super Bowl, we had a top 12, top 15 run game that opened up our play action offense, which wasn't as relied on. Our pass offense wasn't as relied on as it has been in years past because we haven't been able to establish a true run game.
And that hurt the Saints down the stretch in the regular season. Probably ultimately cost them a division title. They got back to it during the playoffs, and it really paid off during the Eagles playoff game. Saints had a perfect game plan.
Absolutely.
They went head-to-head with the Super Bowl champs on the road,
and played the best game anybody's given them all season in their own house, except for the game where Arizona beat them in Seattle.
This is true. But that's all the picks the Saints had. And, of course, they got some undrafted free agents. We'll find out more about those guys with rookie camp starting. I want to say it's actually this weekend.
Okay.
Or it's coming out soon. I know
Right.
It's usually immediately right after the draft. It's one of those things that's close to the public, but you have reports and stuff like that.
Yep.
And usually there's a couple of diamonds in the rough that come out of that, and at least we'll make it to camp.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of, before we move on to baseball, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Julius Walmsley, who was a defensive tackle for the Tulane Green Wave, who was signed as an undrafted free agent to the Houston Texans within the first couple of hours after the draft was completed on Saturday. So big ups to him, and the best of luck. This guy's got a heart of gold, and he's a monster on the field. If you go back and watch some old Tulane games, he's a beast on the field. And best of luck to you, Julius. I hope all your hard work pays off, and you get that jersey, and I can go buy one until you make about 50 cents off.
There you go. You get the royalty check, right?
Yeah, I asked him if he makes it and if he gets signed, how much he makes. He said, "Donna, we want to know." So I'll go buy one anyway, and I don't know what I'd do with the Texans jersey, but at least he'll get 50 cents.
Greg Filing will hate you for life.
Oh, sorry, Greg, but Julius, we've talked about this on Facebook already.
Maybe we'll forgive you for that. Speaking of Greg, his boy, was it Kilgore?
Yeah,
signed as an
Kilgore.
undrafted free agent.
That's right.
He was talking about, what about the irony that Zach Mettenberger goes to the Titans as a draft pick, and then the Saints take Kilgore? Greg's.
Yeah, we were joking about that, and then it happened.
And it actually happened. He's like, dude, Kilgore. I'm like, whoa, they actually really did.
Right.
He's a big boy, though.
Yeah.
Kilgore. I think he's 6'3", got a good arm. And he actually, I think, set the record for passing yards in Middle Tennessee State. I want to say not this year, but the year before. And only in the year before. His junior year was definitely his best season, at least from the stats I was looking at. He didn't throw many picks the junior year. I think he only had like 7 or 8. It was just
not
single
bad.
digits.
That's not bad.
Never know.
Could this be the quarterback that we groomed to come up behind Drew Brees?
I think what you got, what's his name from Tulane that was on the squad?
Griffin.
Griffin, yeah.
Should be interesting.
It'd be an interesting camp.
Training camp will be coming up soon. We'll be we might be reporting live for episode 45 from training camp.
That'll be around that time.
Be around the 7 weeks.
Be around that time.
Interesting. As long as they let us.
Yeah, we'll find a way to do something.
We'll make it work.
We can always just get footage and then do it in the parking lot as effort.
Yeah, you're right. We'll make it work. We always do.
Absolutely. Flipping sports. The Tiger baseball team, well, they only played 2 games last week because Mother Nature wouldn't allow it. A split with the Powell Alabama Crimson Tide in their last home SEC series of the week. This was a series that LSU needed to win. They went straight up with the split, dropped a little bit in the polls, and now they're on the severe bubble of even hosting a regional. In fact, if the tournament starts today, I think LSU's going on the road.
I would have to agree. I would have to agree where we are right now. If the tournament started today, we had a good outing from Nolo on Friday night. No, Saturday.
Saturday morning. It was the Friday night game. Of
course.
The
Friday night game got pushed to Saturday. Nolo went a complete game, 4 hits, no earned.
What a way to go out! What a way to go out in his
last home start.
Home start, unless of course they host the region.
Right. But I mean, he threw an absolute gem, and Bama just couldn't do anything with it. I mean, we only won 2-0.
Yeah,
it was a 2-0.
It should have been about 4 or 5.
Right.
Typical of LSU's. All year, Ryan, it's been the same thing. We've had runners on third with 1 out. We simply cannot get them home. It's frustrating. I wouldn't surprise me if we have a better percentage of getting them home with 2 outs than 1 out. That's sad.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. And as we say this, the Tigers are beating the Northwestern State Demons 7-0 in the bottom of the second after a Tyler Moore grand slam, and we just scratch our heads and say, where was that this weekend?
I mean, despite being the competition thing, because LSU hasn't lit the world on fire against midweek competition.
No,
They won a lot of 5-1, 5-2 type of ball games.
We lost a midweek game
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
to some team that's also in the state of Louisiana that looks like the University of Louisville, but that's a whole other ballgame.
They're playing good ball right now, and
That they are.
they
have not
they
lost
have
a
a-
weekend series all season
they have a legitimate shot to be a national seed.
until they meet a team that actually plays baseball.
They'll probably get an SEC team in their regional.
Good.
Somebody was saying that Alabama may go back there. They
Good.
played
Well,
Alabama.
they beat Alabama.
They beat Alabama 2 out of 3 at the Teague earlier this year. Another one had a team that it would basically be the 5th place SEC team, basically the first SEC team not to host, and one of those projections had Vanderbilt. Hey, no way they'd be Vanderbilt.
No way they're getting past beat.
Vanderbilt would throw their 2, say beat for ULL and shut it down. And Vanderbilt has the pitching to make a run.
Absolutely.
And they're getting really hot right now. But the thing is, Vanderbilt's playing so hot right now, they may end up hosting the regional because they're right back in it. They have a huge series this weekend with South Carolina. I mean, that could be a series that between those 2 teams, they're also fighting for regional status. And if one of them gets really hot and makes a run through the SEC tournament, they can get another national seed. The SEC is going to get 2 national seeds.
yeah.
It's either going to be LSU's limited. I mean, I don't see any way LSU gets a national seed, even if they run the table.
And win the SEC?
Maybe if they win the SEC tournament, maybe. But that's a big
maybe.
And they would have to beat they would need some high quality wins. They would have to not only go through it, but they would have to basically win it with chalk and get wins over Florida, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, teams like Ole Miss again.
Back to back.
None of these Texas A&M type of teams getting an upset and LSU cupcaking their way through the title.
Still pissed off about last week.
It wouldn't be enough
before last series, and losing that series at A&M. Granted, yes, it's the SEC, and all 14 teams in the SEC are pretty damn good from top to bottom. There was no excuse whatsoever for it to go extras on Friday, for us to blow in the bottom of the ninth on Saturday. We won the game. We should have won both of those games, and we just can't close the deal. So,
if anything worse, they should have took them 2 out of 3.
At least win the series, if not sweep. At least win the series.
And LSU just continues to be a team that struggles on the road this year. They need to sweep Auburn.
Have to.
If you want to host, LSU's gonna have to either that or they're gonna have to win the SEC tournament.
A or B. Yeah. You pick, Maneri.
But here's the crazy thing: if LSU sweeps Auburn, they still have an okay chance of winning the West.
Yet we won't be a national seed.
Well, if they win the West, that'll get them back in the conversation for it.
Right.
If we get them a 2 seed in the SEC tournament, now they would still have to do damage in the SEC tournament.
Behind Florida.
Behind Florida, just for because how it goes is the 2 division winners, regardless of record, are 1 and 2, and then the next best record overall is 3 and 2.
Okay.
Which would probably be Ole Miss would be up there depending on what they do.
Depending how it unfolds, Vanderbilt might be at 3 or 4 too.
Yeah. I would say it's 5 teams, unless Alabama comes out of nowhere and sweeps this weekend. Your 5 teams battling for the top 4 seed spots right now are Florida, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, LSU. Yeah, let's put Alabama in there. I mean, Alabama has a win.
6 are battling for 4 spots.
So 6 are battling for 4 spots. Alabama has the most work to do out of anybody to host. They would have to sweep and win the SEC tournament. And their RPI is just not high enough. It's respectable, but RPI's got to be the top 16.
Right.
Realistically. But LSU right now, their RPI is at 19 and ranked 14th. Assuming they hold on to a 7-0 lead, and they have bases loaded with 1 out right now. That puts them at 37 wins going into the Auburn series. The regular season magic number has usually been 40. 40 wins has usually been that magic number you need going into conference tournament play to be a legitimate chance of hosting the regional. If LSU does that, that'll put them at 17, 11, and 1 in conference. Even if they wouldn't win the West, it would put them, if we go percentage-wise, you take that tie, it puts you at 18 and 12, which is actually what we kind of thought LSU was.
Yeah.
LSU's in a lot better shape to host the regional if they sweep Auburn, but they would still, I think, have to maybe make the semifinals of the SEC tournament. John Cunningham was kind of asking us to address this. I told him I couldn't incorporate that fan mail part into this because it's relevant to what's going on. But Auburn's not good. Let's just put it that way. But LSU has not put it together, home or away, basically since the Ole Miss series, which was probably, I thought,
our biggest series.
win of the season, even more impressive than sweeping Mississippi State at home. I mean, Ole Miss is legit.
Because we took 2 out of 3 on the road.
And Ole Miss has not lost many games at home this year, too. But that's the other thing. The sweep would give LSU 3 road wins, which they really need to improve their road record right now.
Right.
I think we still have a losing record on the road, I'm going to say.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And LSU is 7-8 against the top 25.
All that would do is even out the sweep that we had against Florida. The sweep that we received against Florida. Let me rephrase
That's right when Florida started getting hot. I mean, I know Florida they had a bad weekend this weekend. I think they're up to 18 losses now. But Florida also has the toughest schedule of the entire nation. And they play midweek games against teams like Miami and Florida International, which in baseball is a top 25 team every year. They had that guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he had that ridiculous hitting streak that actually extended into the next year a few years back. And is that where Turbo Thomas is coaching right now? I have to look that up. I want to say yes, but not 100% sure. That's pretty much what LSU baseball needs to do. They need to take care of business. They can't win the SEC, but they can win the SEC West with a little bit of help. I was looking at the scenario. Option A is they sweep Auburn, and then A&M has Ole Miss at home. If A&M would win 2 out of 3, which Ole Miss, as good of a team they are, they're not quite the same on the road as they are at home. Then again, Nicholas with most teams.
Right.
It's possible.
It is.
And it's not as far-fetched as some people make.
Right.
And then the other one is Mississippi State winning
1.
Actually, I think even if they won 2 out of 3 and LSU swept, LSU would still get it over like tiebreaker percentage.
Right.
Something like that. Or if LSU won 2 out of 3, then
we need a lot more.
A&M sweeping and basically subtract 1 game from what exactly.
We just need 1 more win this weekend than Ole Miss has.
Yeah, for the most part, because unless Mississippi State comes out of nowhere and sweeps, and that's another team that can still get a regional.
We swept.
What if Mississippi State sweeps and then runs through the SEC tournament? You never know.
Mississippi State was a World Series team last year.
Runner-up last year. That's how deep the SEC is. They're going to get anywhere, I think, from 9, 10, 11 may stretch, but I think they could get 10 teams in the tournament, which is unheard of.
That's crazy.
Hell, in softball, they got 11. That's ridiculous.
Almost the entire conference playing for a shot to play for the national championship. And 10 of the 64 teams.
And it was ULL's softball team got a national seed. Could you imagine if LSU had to go on the road to ULL in baseball and softball?
No.
It's possible.
Lafayette would turn purple and gold. Sorry. It's true. We would take over.
I don't know. They beat us in our own ballpark. At
One city at a time.
But that's a way off. And speaking of LSU baseball, they're just tacking on. What's that? 1, 2.
Might be 3.
10-0. Or did they hold them up? No, they held them up.
9-0.
Oh, maybe I'm losing track now.
Or maybe they only said 1. Nope, 9-0. There you go.
9. The amount of runs that LSU scored the entire A&M. No, they have 10 now. LSU in 1 2/3 innings against Northwestern has scored more runs than they did the entire A&M series.
Let that sink in.
Just shaking my head.
Let that marinate like a good record.
Shaking my head. Anyway, let's get to
FanDuel.
Let's get to FanDuel.
We got mail, yay!
Yeah, somebody watches the show, I guess. Here's a good one. It goes, name 5 former LSU football players you would pay money to have eligibility to play on this year's LSU football team this coming season.
Tyrann Mathieu. Patrick Peterson.
And they would be in their prime, of course. Like, they're not necessarily there. They'd be in the prime of their playing career.
Jamarcus Russell. Glenn Dorsey. Josh Reed.
Good pick. Well, right off the bat, I agree with you. Tyrann Mathieu and Patrick Peterson, 1 and 2. I actually would take Peterson 1, but I'm a little biased. But you can't go wrong.
And so am I. That's why I took Mathieu first.
Both of them are playmakers.
Speaking of Peterson, he's about to get paid by Arizona because of Sherman's contract.
He's made the Pro Bowl his first 3 years.
He's about to get paid fat. Tigers score again, 11-0.
Where's his offense come from? Oh, of course, Stevens is page rating. Of course.
Everybody aboard?
All right, so that's 2. Billy Cannon.
Oh, nice. Nice.
This is tough to only do 5. Yeah, wow. You know what? I'm gonna go with LSU's all-time leading passer, Tommy Hudson. That guy.
Okay.
He just had a gun for an arm, especially. And then Michael Clayton.
So we each got a quarterback. We each got a running back.
Each got a wide receiver.
We each got a wide receiver.
And 2
playmakers.
And 2 playmakers in the secondary.
And then 2. No, actually, no. I didn't take a running back because I had Glenn Dorsey.
Oh yeah, you're going to do it.
I didn't take a running
Which is
back.
not a bad choice this year.
No, you can solidify the D line. Have Peterson and Matthews still roaming the secondary. DBU.
We sure could use that.
We were spoiled in 2012. We really were.
Yeah.
We got spoiled. We ran the ball down people's throats, and you could not move the ball on our defense until the last game of the season, which we won't even speak about.
What? We beat Georgia. That was a great game.
We came back and beat Georgia, and Tyrann Matthew didn't even cross the goal line with the ball, but that doesn't matter because he still got the 6.
Because he do what he wants.
Because Tyrann Matthew does what he wants. Does what he wants. What else you got?
Let's see. The other one we had, I have a feeling this one was geared more towards me, but it's definitely a question for you too, because the person that asked this definitely knows how I'm going with this. What is your opinion of local basketball fans in the New Orleans area that cheer for teams like the Miami Heat and Los Angeles Lakers over the home team Pelicans? I don't like them. That's not for simple. I don't like them.
I have to voice my opinion because there are times where I am one of these people, except when they play the Pelicans.
Yeah, these are ones that
will go to the Smoothie King Center.
Eric Godet is one of them.
With a Kobe Bryant jersey on, and you're a resident of New Orleans. What the hell are you doing? That's like going to a Saints game with a Tony Romo jersey on whenever they play in the Cowboys. To each his own, though. To each his own. I've been a LeBron James fan since he was in high school. I pulled for him in Cleveland. I was a fan of the Heat when Dwayne Wade and Shaq were there. No, I can't go back and tell you what number whoever wore for the Heat in the 90s. I didn't really give a damn about basketball in the 90s. I didn't like Michael Jordan. I didn't really care for the Bulls, and I liked the Rockets just because they were the closest team because New Orleans didn't have a team. But when it comes down to it, when push comes to shove, if the Pelicans are playing the Heat, I'm pulling for the Pels, no questions asked.
Yeah.
But I like watching the Heat. I like watching the Clips. I like watching the Clips. I like watching the Thunder. I'll pull for those teams.
I do like watching the Thunder.
But when they play in the Pels, there's no questions asked.
Fair enough. Yeah, my answer is simple. I don't like it.
Whoa. Boys.
504.
What?
Good
question, though.
That's a good question. Absolutely. I think that's all the time we have for this week.
Sure is. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Next week's show, we'll preview, I guess, the SEC baseball tournament.
Recap LSU series with Auburn this weekend.
Auburn. I don't know what else was going on in the world of sport.
Whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Yeah. I got California Chrome winning the Preakness this weekend.
He's a betting man.
I bet on winners.
I might actually give him $5 to place a bet for me.
Yeah, I need to see if the off-track betting does bets on Thursday. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, of course they do. They do bets anytime.
Because Alabama doesn't have an off-track bet.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Louisiana.
Yeah.
And good luck getting a drive-through daiquiri, too.
Well, that's what the condos for.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. While he's having Hangout Fest, I'll be hanging out, watching. One of my best friends graduated at Nichols and hanging out with my son. So you have fun hanging out. I'll have fun hanging out. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
And remember, 2 weeks, World Cup show.
With that being said.
And it'll also be NCAA regional show, too. Wow.
Oh,
that's a mega episode.
I might have to take the day off of work.
That's a mega episode.
Mega episode.
Good thing we're doing that on tape delay.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. Ryan, you got anything else?
The usual.
Usual?
Good night, America.